I Caught My Wife Cheating with Another Man, Part 14. Thanksgiving dinner was a disaster. My parents invited Hannah and her family without consulting me. They weren't happy with my airing out our dirty laundry to our common friends and wanted us to come together to discuss our issues. Despite the post Hannah made on here, she still attended Thanksgiving dinner. I felt blindsided and furious. This was one of the only sanctuaries I had left, which was yet another thing she had taken from me. I was also angry with my parents for not respecting my need for space after everything that had happened. When I saw her walk through the door, I walked straight out, leaving no room for discussion. With my two trusted friends unavailable, one spending the holiday at his in-laws and the other out of town, I spent Thanksgiving alone at a bar, which really sucked. And following that evening, I decided to cut off my parents. Later that week, I met with the husband of Hannah's friend, the friend who discovered his wife's affair after she was outed during the group meetup. He told me he decided to reconcile with his wife, largely because they have kids together. I started therapy and returned to work to regain some semblance of normalcy. However, I still often turned to drinking to get through the rough nights. Since Thanksgiving, I hadn't heard from Hannah or Ryan. After the disturbing message from Ryan taunting me about the abortion of my child, I reported it to the police. They said they would investigate, but proving the source would be difficult due to the number of people involved, creating motive for others, and the fact that it wasn't from his number. I still have my camera and security system in place at home for protection and evidence, along with previous police reports and a peace bond, but still felt uneasy because I knew I was dealing with a mentally deranged person. When the OBS returned from visiting her parents, she had her mother come to stay with her. We'd been keeping in touch and eventually met for dinner to chat and support each other. During our conversation, I learned that her husband, Ryan, had been laid off due to fraud-related issues at work. After dinner, she came to my house to pick up evidence I had that she needed for her legal proceedings, which are more complicated due to the abuse in her marriage. We had a few glasses of wine. We shared a moment that led to a kiss and ultimately sleeping together. I hadn't anticipated this, and I was concerned about how it might affect our friendship, which I highly valued despite the shit situation it was born out of. We talked and agreed it was too soon to pursue a romantic relationship, as we were both navigating our separations, but neither of us regretted what happened. We had an unbelievable time together, and both felt a mutual need for validation after what our exes had done to us. Now, for the most shocking update. Less than a week ago, as I was leaving work and walking over to my car in an underground parking lot, I was hit by a car in a hit-and-run accident. I lost consciousness, and when I woke up, I found myself in a hospital room with Hannah and my parents by my side. Hannah was still listed as my emergency contact, which is why she was notified. Have a few broken bones, but on the whole, given the circumstances, I should consider myself to still be alive. I told Hannah that I didn't want her there and asked her to leave. She broke down, begging me to let her take care of me and show her love, but I couldn't stand the sight of her and insisted she leaves me alone. Thankfully, my parents supported my wishes and asked her to give me space to recuperate. The police are investigating the hit and run. I don't remember anything from the accident, and unfortunately, the security cameras were non-functional at the time. The police did manage to get the make and color of the car from nearby street cameras as it left the parking lot, but the plate number was not visible. The car make and color matches Ryan's car. However, it's a common color and make, so it doesn't provide much to go on. The investigation is ongoing. I returned home from the hospital a few days ago. I am trying to get back into things, and my parents have been a big source of help and support. The hit and run could have just been an unfortunate random hit, but I remain vigilant, just in case it was a deliberate act by Ryan.